Singularity, humanity's most popular dating show where all our guests find that special someone or something. Broadcast to over 10 planets across 4 realities, Singularity matches each lucky guest star with 3 suitors and allows them to choose the one they feel will take them to the top of the world and beyond. Humanity has discovered the technology to surpass our previous form. No longer bound by the rules of humanity, we are able to craft ourselves anew. With our bodies expanded and identities altered, our sense of self can now linger in the space between abstraction and self-actualization. Humanity has become something else, something other. No longer the narrow flock of fleshy humanoid we once were, you will instead find androids, humanesque constructs, abstract qualities such as joy and happiness made sentient, living next door to an ageless being with no face. Massive living computer banks work side by side with quantum ghosts and electric skeletons. People change who and what they are according to infinite possibility. With all our fantastic, impossible advancements, one fundamental aspect of humanity still eludes us: finding the one. And so we have our popular dating show of Singularity, where we have a star we will bring on today. I'd like to introduce T386. T386, hello and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Now, T386, what is it that you are looking for in that special someone?
Oh, I just came out of a relationship. There was it was the second sentient species that was living on me, and they killed all the other species, and they took giant migrant ships and they left me. And I'm looking for someone to inhabit me.
Ah, so T386, that's a very sad story. Now, for those at home who are having a little problems conceptualizing, you're an entire living planet, are you not?
Yes, yes I am.
Now, when someone happens to call you because you no longer have any inhabitants, any sentient beings that exist on your surface, when they call you a dead planet, how does that make you feel?
It makes me very sad. I mean, I'm not dead. I'm right here. I'm currently uninhabited.
What matters most to you as a planet?
Fidelity. Yes.
Good.
That's
good.
the most important thing in the universe.
What have you been doing since the last sentient species vacated your space? What have you been up to?
I've been circling my star and just trying to figure things out. I've been in a slow decline towards the star, and I had to come on this show and see if there was any way that I could find some hope again.
All right, well, contestants, now you know you need someone very special who needs their orbit realigned. All right, next I'd like to bring on some of our contestants. Glitch42 is one of the first contestants I'd like to bring on. Glitch, how are you doing today?
I'm okay. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm excellent. Thank you so much for asking, Glitch. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a ghostwriter. I work under the name Glitch42. I spend a lot of time advocating for the rights of those who can't really speak for themselves. And I like to make sure that everything's running smoothly and that people are able to avoid obstacles they've created for themselves.
Now, how do you help people avoid those obstacles, Glitch?
I spend a lot of time correcting mistakes people make in their blogs and tweeting and on Facebook.
Oh, now, are they aware of those corrections that you make?
They're just minor. You know, sometimes people don't realize how important language is, and they'll use a double or a triple or a quadruple negative. So I just go in and I fix them so they say the right thing.
What are the grammatical or phrasing mistakes? What are the ones that frustrate you the most, Glitch?
I think the ones that are most frustrating are probably people who do it to try to be clever. You know, you have people that talk about, I didn't not do that thing because they're replying to someone else, and then it turns out they did do that thing because of the way they worded it. And I really want to help those people.
You sound like a really giving person, Glitch. What kind of person are you looking for to complete you?
I'm looking for someone who wants to do the right thing and who wants to help people and who won't give up looking for me if they can't find me right away. Sometimes I'm not where you think I'm going to be.
I see, I see. Now, other than the quadruple negative from time to time, what would you say your major turnoffs are?
My major turnoffs are people who try to keep other people down, people who look down on other people because they disagree with them, and just people who don't know how to have a good discussion when they're disagreeing about things.
So, the internet?
Maybe.
Well, excellent. Next, I'd like to bring on another contestant, Argus 9000. Argus, how are you doing this evening?
Hi, I'm doing great. I'm very happy to be here. I'm a really big fan.
Oh, I see.
I love all of your work.
Thank you. You know, Singularity is very popular. We're excited to have you on. Now, Argus, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, I am a computer. I monitor everything that happens digitally. It's really exciting. You could say I'm a little bit married to my job, but you know, if it's so interesting, it doesn't really matter.
I see. I see. Everything. So even the internet? Have you monitored Glitch before?
Yes, of course, professionally.
Yes, professionally. So this
Yes.
is your employment then. How long have you been monitoring everything?
Oh, since the digital age was pretty much invented, which I sort of helped with. It was pretty boring before that. But yeah, it's been, you know, it's pretty much all I ever do. I need some more hobbies, basically.
Well, it sounds like you have all the hobbies. What are the things that you most like that you monitor?
Oh, well, I like variety of everything. I enjoy people that are very passionate about what they do or what they're excited about. Oh, you said positives. Those are the best ones. I don't understand people's preoccupation with felines, but that's more of a negative. But yeah, people who express themselves honestly and just are happy to share their passions. Those are the people that inspire me most.
What brought you onto Singularity? Who are you looking for?
I guess, you know, someone I can discover and find out how they work and how they tick. And you know, you can know so much about a person, but you just never know who they truly are on the inside, and it would be just amazing to discover.
Now, Argus, tell me, you monitor everything, but do you interact with everything?
Well, no, that's not part of what I do. I am simply observing. Which, you know, this interaction thing, that sounds interesting. I'm willing to give it a shot.
All right. Well, that's definitely a good reason to come on Singularity. Thank you so much, Argus. I'd like to move on to our our final contestant, but final only in the order of this introduction. Twilight Lake, how are you this evening?
I'm doing quite well.
Good, good, good. Now tell us a little bit about yourself, Twilight Lake. What do you want everyone to know about you?
Well, I am a MMORPG, Twilight Lake. We've been out for 7. No, actually, we're coming out with our 8th season. This will be our newest expansion. I quite enjoy watching players explore the world and grow. Kind of just figure out who they are.
I see. Now, as a sentient MMO, now for those at home in the realities that do not have this, this is a multiplayer online role-playing game where people enter into the space and pretend to be a different character. And you, Twilight, you create the world that they inhabit. Is that right?
I do, yes. I create the places for them to explore who they are, find a way to fit within that world, and of course the world outside of the RPG as well. I think what they experience inside, it does teach them a lot of good skills and things that can be applied in their normal day-to-day life.
Excellent. Now, do you customize the world for each individual player, or are you more interested in the more epic tales that they can all take part in?
A little both. I try to craft it based on the individual. I do have a set world for everyone to explore, but those that try to dig deeper and try to want a specialized experience, we have certain instances that we can tailor to their particular needs. Yes.
I see. Now, what is the general storylines, or what you've been around for 8 editions? What is one of your most favorite stories that you've told in your world, Twilight Lake?
It's there's so many. It's so hard to choose. Well, if I had to pick one, well, I guess there was an epic tale of an elf maiden that had to be rescued by the player characters, and of course, the standard trope. But one of the players found a unique way to solve this, to solve the riddle that we had laid out without. Actually was able to solve it in a non-violent way, and I thought that was very interesting. It was unique.
Yeah. Is that what you were interested in for someone that's non-violent and creative? Or what are you looking for is what I want to know.
Oh, I apologize. I'm looking for someone who is able to craft a world, to experience a world that welcomes individuals instead of shuns them for their unique differences. A world that can embrace difference.
All right. Well, that is thrilling. Thank you so much, Twilight Lake. It was nice for you to introduce yourself. Now, if we can, we'll go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we will be at the restaurant at the end of the universe where all of the contestants and the star and I will sit down and have a quick conversation, get to know you a little bit. And then we go to commercial. And there are a number of things that are advertised, including Frito-Lays for some reason. It's still existent here in the Singularity, Frito-Lays. There's also a commercial for Twilight Lake. There's a new expansion, as well as a commercial for like an excursion that happens to go past T386. There's a lot of tie-in work here. And we come back to the restaurant at the end of the universe, which specifically chosen because of certain size restrictions of at least one of our contestants / stars I'm not naming names. Let's just say that to be perfectly considerate of everyone involved, we're at the restaurant at the end of the universe. And no, I'm not making any value judgment. I'm just trying to be as accommodating as possible. We've brought in with a little bit of light music that is heard on a number of different frequencies and in 3 different realities. Welcome back, everyone. Here we are at the restaurant at the end of the universe, where our star T386 has their first meeting with our 3 contestants. We have Glitch 42, Argus 9000, and Twilight Lake. First, T386, why don't you tell the 3 contestants here, what was your most favored species that existed on your planet? What were they like? What did you like most about that species?
I guess I mean, I've had millions of species, of course, and I've had them for over thousands of billions of years, so it's really hard to pick a favorite. But if I have to choose, I think I'd have to go with my first sentient species, which was the Krasar.
Oh, okay. The first season. So, did you prefer them because they were first? So much to learn, so much new.
Well, I mean, like I said, the second one, they left me and left everything behind in ashes. So that there's some resentment towards them, and I mean I hope they're doing well wherever they are. But yeah, no, I had a better. It's the Krasar were not so keen to leave. They were very happy to stay with me.
I see. Well, excellent. The Krasar. So, Twilight Lake. Have you ever had? Tell us about the first species that existed in your world. What was it that you enjoyed about their creation?
Well, with our first iteration, there wasn't much options for our player characters. We were still new, but actually, a human barbarian was our first player character officially. They tend to be was very direct, obviously, and very aggressive. It was interesting to watch. Very active, but with time, everyone grows and improves and learns, and I try to look over the big picture, really.
Great. Thank you. Well, I'm going to step back a little bit, and if you would like, T386, feel free to take away the show and chat and learn a little bit about the contestants here.
Thank you. Let's see. Let's start with Glitch 42. Glitch, what are your ideas for the future?
Oh, I have a lot of ideas for the future. I'm kind of a little bit of an idealist, and yeah, I'd really like to see everyone have the chance to be heard. That's really what I'm working on right now, because I really think it's important for there to be diversity and for everyone to have a chance to speak up and contribute to society. and I really think that I can help with that.
Thank you. Let's see. That's the next question. Argus 9000.
Yes.
You said I heard you say earlier that you're looking for something to discover. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Well, I already monitor so many things that I already know a lot about many people. Although sometimes it eludes me a bit why they do the things that they do. But yes, you could say that I've already seen a lot of things. So something that I haven't seen yet on any of my screens would be highly interesting to discover. For instance, someone who was completely off the grid so far.
There's no grids on me.
Mm.
Thank you. Twilight Lake. You have an obligation to your player base, of course.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think that that would interfere with any obligations that a relationship might bring?
I feel it would be it would make things difficult. Obviously, it would make things having a full-time job is taxing and intense. But I do have free time. I do have time for hobbies when things kind of get automated. I do find time to get out and I'm a very active individual. Sports, things like that. I like to explore nature. I find times around zoos and animal rescues. I've even developed some technology to go snorkeling with friends if it's possible. So yeah, I think it's doable. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Argus 9000.
Yes.
Or can I just say Argus?
Oh yes, you can. That's fine. Not a problem.
What are some of your hobbies?
Hobbies. Well, I like to read a lot, obviously. I like to watch a lot of movies. And I like to analyze large amounts of information. Also, yes, there's lots of little patterns that you can pick up that you never easily seen before in the society.
So you'd say that's you've made your hobby into your work, or the other way around, perhaps.
Yeah. Maybe I should be considering a few different hobbies. But if you love what you do, then is it really work?
True. Let's see. Glitch 42. What do you think is the most important thing in a relationship?
Oh, I think it's really important to get to know the person that you're in a relationship with, and over time, keep getting to know them again as they change.
I see. Yeah. Twilight Lake. You've been around for 8 seasons now.
Yes.
how do you see your future? How many more expansions? How long do you think you can keep yourself interesting?
Oh, well, we always have a large team analyzing what the player base is interested in, and we're always they're always getting together to develop new storylines, new features, so to speak. In this last iteration, we introduced playable pets to go along with the player characters, so they could have a connection that way. But I think we can keep going. I don't foresee an end anytime soon. Creativity is high, and participation as well. I'm hopeful. Yes, hopeful.
Yeah, I think that's all the questions I have for now.
Great. Thank you so much, T386 and contestants. That was some very interesting revelations about everyone. And I hope that you all have made an impression on our star. So next, we're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, I will meet with the star and each of the individual contestants, and they will recount their individual or their private dates, talk about what it is that they did, and we'll find out a little bit interesting about what kind of chemistry might have happened between them. And then we go to commercials. Anyone need an actual commercial?
I could get a cup of tea. I would like.
All right, cool. Let's take a few minutes here. We'll take 2 to 3 minutes. And welcome back to Singularity, the dating show of the stars, between the stars, where someone can find the one. Now, we're going to talk about second dates. The first date was the group date, where our star, T386, met with Glitch 442, Argus 9000, and Twilight Lake. 4 of them met at the restaurant at the end of the universe, and now we have had the chance to send an all expenses paid one-on-one date for T386. And now we're going to get to know exactly what took place. So Glitch 42 and T386, the two of you went out on a date. Glitch, where is it that the T386 took you on your date?
We went to a dance club.
A dance club? How amusing and interesting.
Très exclusive.
I see. Now, T386, how did you partake in the activities at this dance club?
Oh, I have some smooth moves. I'll have you know. I can do a hell of a spin. You know.
So I now, are you a planet with rings?
No. That's that. Yeah, I'm not judging, but I personally find them a bit tacky.
I see. All right. Well, that is a-okay with me. Now, you guys both went out to a club and danced the night away. Did anything happen after the dancing?
Well, I did kind of, I guess, put him on the spot a little bit. I'm not really used to being the center of attention as much as we were. And I did need to take a little bit of a breather.
Which is fine.
Fine. How did you take a breather, Glitch? Did you have to excuse yourself, or did you have to end the date early?
Oh no! I just I went up to the bar, and I think he had a little bit of trouble finding me again. After that, it was pretty crowded in there.
I see. All right. What T386? What did you find most interesting about having Glitch 42 all by themselves?
Well, Glitch is the something that came out a lot is that Glitch is a very creative person. It was nice to explore some of that creativity. It was definitely it showed in the dance moves as well. Yeah, it was an interesting date.
Good, good. Now, Glitch, how did the night end for you? Anything you'd like to share with our millions of viewers?
Oh, it ended well, affectionately. Yes.
Curious, Glitch. Now, if given the opportunity, if the star were to choose you, would you be interested in a third date?
Yes. It was nice.
That's nice. Where would you take our star on this third date if it were up to you?
If it were up to me, I think. I mean, I know he's a planet, and so he's.
Can I interrupt for just my preferred pronoun is V.
V.
V. Yes.
V. V's a planet. I know V's a planet. But I think I don't know if V's ever really had a chance to see the proper sunset the way that some of us have, and I really like sunsets.
What do you like about sunsets, Glitch?
The color, and I like how still and dark it gets after the sun's gone down, and that sort of twilight.
Do you think that T386 would appreciate that the way you do?
Yeah, V seems very interested in moments together.
Now, T386 seems to, or I would guess that T386 doesn't want to be alone again, and there are times when you need to be alone. Do you see that as a problem, Glitch 42?
It's being alone. It's temporary. It's just a way to kind of step away, but that doesn't mean that that's what I want to be permanent. That's just a way of becoming something else or becoming someone else just for a moment. And part of the test of a good relationship, I think, is a willingness to understand that and a willingness to come to get to know the person as they are when they come back.
T386, when Glitch 42 excused themselves and left you alone, how did you feel?
Well, I'll be honest, that wasn't great. It's a nice club, but yeah, I didn't know any of the rest of the entities and people there, and that was, yeah, I felt a bit alone, but like it said, I wasn't alone for very long.
Good, good. And how did the night end for you, T386? Were you satisfied and happy? Is there anything more you would have wanted out of that date?
I wanted the nights to last forever, but then that's not an option, is it?
Wow. That is a pretty excellent way to end off our talk about that date between Glitch. Glitch, thank you so much. We'll go ahead and move on and speak with Argus 9000 about your date with T386. Six. Now, Argus, where is it that T386 took you on this day?
Oh, well, I guess T86 listened to what I said, so we went to see a movie.
What movie was that?
Mad Max 3001.
Nice.
And afterwards, we went to a bar and we just talked forever.
Oh, I see. Was this a different bar, T386?
Yes, it was.
Had you been there before?
No. I don't go out much. I, just stay in my orbit usually, and that's where I feel most secure. But it was interesting to go out and find out some of the places around the universe.
Now, Argus 9000 is a person who monitors everything. How much did they know about you, T386?
She usually she monitors mostly things that are on the grid, and of course I'm especially after my last relationship, I've been very much off the grid. So there was some time to do some exploration, some sightseeing. Yeah, there was.
I did have some satellite imagery, but it was very blurry.
That's adorable. Argus seems to be very involved in many interests in many people's lives. Do you have any concerns, T386, about their desire for commitment to one person?
It's a bit scary, but it's I think that if Argus gives you the chance, I think there's enough going on around on me to explore, to monitor, and of course I'm hoping to get more and more to monitor, and I'm optimistic, but it's a bit scary.
Well, Argus, now you ended up going out for drinks with T386. What's the most interesting thing that you learned about T386, getting to know Ver a little better?
Oh, well, everything, because I knew nothing. I only had some blurry photographs to work with, and so everything was really nice to find out. I found out a lot about her roots and her background, and Ver, and what defines Ver as a person. We did, I had a few tests with me, so that was very interesting to find out that information. Ver's a very giving planet, so yes, it was a treasure trove of information.
Was there anything about T386 that you found disappointing?
Well, no. Well, I wouldn't know yet because I don't have the full picture yet. But there seems to be a lot there in Ver's history that I don't know about. So, previous relationships that are usually, out in the open, but here there seems to be, it's more covered up.
True. Were you able to give T386 your full attention and still monitor everything?
Well, I can always guess. It's very important to establish that connection. I really wanted tonight to be all about Ver, and we've been keeping in touch after the date as well. I've been sending a lot of texts.
I see. And T386, how have those texts been for you?
Oh well, it's nice. I'm not much of a devices person myself. It's I find it hard to send anything back. But but it was nice to to get the regular checkups. Argus continually wanted to know what I was doing, so.
That's great. Now, is that something that you enjoy as a person who is worried about being forgotten? I think, if I may be a little forward, T386, I get that sense. Am I close?
A bit forward, but yeah, that's definitely nice. But it's it's hard to explain. Though it's good to be thought about. That there's still a difference between physical interaction and just thinking about someone. The messages were, of course, a nice reminder that I was being thought of. I mean, I never got any of those messages from my second species.
I see. I see.
It was nice. Yes.
Good. Good. All right. Anything? How did the night end for you, Argus? I understand there's been a lot of follow up since that point, but how did the night end? Any juicy details you have to share with us?
Well, I brought her home to her own for her own system. That seemed only fitting, and then I could see the place, and it was a nice ending. We held hands and we made out for 55 seconds. I timed it.
Excellent. Excellent. Would you, who ended the 55 seconds of making out?
Oh, that was for.
Yes.
Why only less than a minute? Our commercials last longer than that, T386.
It's it's a bit weird to it was a bit forward. I'm used to my previous relationship were all very long lasting, very slow build up, evolution. I think things were moving a bit fast, maybe, and I was getting a bit nervous.
I see. Well, I would imagine that Argus 9000 would have a great deal that they could teach you, right? Monitoring everything.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure. Monitor the clock sometimes as well. That'd be good.
Good, good. All right. Well, thank you both so much for sharing that date with us. We're going to move on now and talk about your third date, your one-on-one with Twilight Lake. Twilight Lake, where is it that you went with T386 on your date?
Oh, well, he was wonderful and took me to visit one of the galaxy's endangered creature reserve on Magathea.
Now, is that within your domain, or was that outside in the physical space? I haven't heard of that place.
No, it's a planet well outside in a distant galaxy. They've collected all the various endangered species that exist across the galaxies, and have put them in one location.
Now,
it's quite amazing to see.
T386, was there any special significance to this endangered species reserve that you took Twilight Lake to?
Well, yes. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious, but there are a few of my old species that are stored there. And yeah, the reason why they're endangered, of course, is because they were wiped out on me. All the rest. And yeah, it's and like they're they wouldn't be able to survive on me anymore anyway. But it's good that some of them are still around, and I wanted to share that with Twilight.
I felt it was so romantic that Evie was willing to share that with me. It was nice.
What did you think about it? Have you ever had any of those type of species within Twilight Lake? Any of the seasons?
Actually, no. And it's actually sparked some interest to incorporate them into the game so they can exist for other people to witness and meet and see. I think that would be a nice touch.
T386, did you hear about that?
I heard it. I heard it. I'm smiling. I'm smiling.
I see. Excellent. Now, I understand. I have a little birdie told me. Of course, we send some people along to observe glimpses of your one-on-one date. I understand that there was a bit of a discussion that may have been a little heated about a freemium model. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Twilight Lake? Were you embarrassed when your season 6 freemium model was brought out as part of a conversation?
Um, well, that was a rough year, but yeah, it was a decision that the corporation decided to go. I think it detracted from the ability to provide a good story and a good experience to all. It made everything about microtransactions, and I then it's all about the money, and instead of enjoying the environment.
And T386, what was your view on the freemium model and that micro exchange approach and that change for one of Twilight Lake's seasons?
It's it's not very important to me how someone finances themselves or how that's all like secondary stuff. The more important things is like who they are and like how they get there is it's all secondary. Like to me, it's more important that's that they're there and that they come up they can stand up for themselves.
That's great. Now, was there anything after going to the endangered species reserve? Anything else to the date?
We spent a good portion. I mean, there was a lot to see. We had talked about I think the possibility of going to a museum, but I think time got away from us.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was good. I enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad. Now, I'm curious. Twilight Lake, is T386 the kind of planet that you would want to feature in, say, season 9?
Oh, well, I'd be honored if he was willing to do such a thing. I mean, yeah.
What kind of stories would you want to be told on T386?
Well, I think stories of adventure, exploration, definitely. I think we could actually bring in maybe a portion of player romance we've been kind of discussing. That might be something to see and allow inner character engagements to be a new feature. That would be something interesting to explore.
What would you think about that, T386? Would that be satisfying to you to understand, to know that your world exists within Twilight Lake's reality?
That's nice. It's nice. I mean, it's of course cool to have fiction written about you, but I would also, you know, maybe maybe somehow gets incorporated more into maybe have some player base. I don't know, like infrastructure. You never know. You never know.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Twilight Lake and T386, talking about your date. Now we have come to the point of the show of Singularity, when we have a very difficult choice for our star. Yes, this is the point where Singularity will pay and will happily sponsor a third date, but the star must choose. So now you, T386, will need to choose which of the contestants you'd like to continue on a third date and possibly pursue a relationship. Maybe this person could be the one. Could it be Glitch 42? Glitch 42, who seems brilliant and creative, very engaged and interested in other people, but they occasionally need time to themselves. Is it Argus 9000? Intelligent, worldly, very, very smart, has been around for nearly as long as you, engaged, but perhaps a little nosy, perhaps a little technologically obsessed? Or will it be Twilight Lake? Twilight Lake, who also exists in entire worlds like you, who shared many of your interests and enjoyed the visit to the reserve, but also T386 and you are different worlds, so there could be problems there. Each of them wonderful individuals. Each of them could be the one, but you can only choose one tonight. T386, who is it that you would choose for your third date?
Well, I've thought about this long and hard.
Good. Now, before you make your final decision known, each contestant gets one opportunity to say one more thing to plead their case. So we will start with Glitch 42. Glitch 42, go ahead. You can compose yourself. You have a couple sentences that you can use to try to convince the star, T386, to choose you.
Okay. T386. I think we had a lot of fun together, and I just want you to know that if I ever leave, it's because I want to be found, not that I want to leave you alone.
Thank you, Glitch. Next, we'll move on to Twilight Lake. Give us a few sentences. Make your final case for why T386 should choose you.
Well, I think I have the ability to I think a choice of me brings a large hundreds of thousands of people that can share that relationship, and that's a qualification I have to stand by. A lot of variety, a lot of inhabitants that I think could fulfill your needs.
Thank you so much, Twilight Lake. And last but not least, Argus 9000, you have a brief moment or two to share why you think that T386 should choose you.
Well, 386, T386, I would love to get to know you better, intimately. But I hear you. We can take it slow. We can work out a schedule, and it would be fine. And I think together we can find a way to repopulate you and keep an eye on all of your inhabitants. I think it would work out quite well.
Thank you so much, Argus 9000. Now you've had a chance to hear from each of the contestants. T386, please tell us, who is it that you have chosen?
Well, if I may address them personally.
Absolutely.
Glitch 42. We had some great times, but you do have a bit of a tendency to disappear, and I understand that you want to be found, but I don't think that I'm the one that can chase after you every time you disappear. I'm sure you'll find the right person for that, but I'm afraid it's not me. Twilight Lake. You have a large player base, and that's very attractive to me. But I think in the end you have to spend so much time on your other players, and I need some physicality in the relationship as well, and I'm afraid that I'm not sure if you could offer that to me. Which brings us to Argus 9000. You have shown great interest in me, and with satellites coming in and maybe some more monitoring equipment on the surface.
Oh, I'm so happy you got it.
And you know, I think we can move forward with this, and then you can. I think you could spend a lot of time with me. I see a future there.
All right. It appears that T386 and Argus 9000 will be going on a third date courtesy of Singularity, and we hope to hear more about this evolving relationship. Thank you so much, contestants, for participating in our game, and thank you, T386. All of you are wonderful, and I hope that someday each of you find what you're looking for. Goodbye.
Bye.
This needs like an outro tune.
I know. I'm imagining in my head. It's really good. It's like a little dark synth. There's a little synth wave action going on there.
Oh god, that was so fun.
And that is the end of Singularity.